Okay, I'm not gonna lie. This is take 2. Because I filmed this and then immediately deleted it on accident.
Got to let you in, fall, let you go. I'm giving it up for maybe.
Hey guys, this week's video is a September reading list. That's a little long because I got a little carried away, so we might go into October. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so if you want to see the 10 books that I'm reading in September, stay tuned. Okay, so the first book I'm reading is a book you probably heard about. It got big for a minute. It's called The Light Between Oceans. It's very dramatic. It's about a man and a woman who live on this lighthouse that's separated from the rest of Australia, and they're trying to have a child, but they can't because the woman has 2 miscarriages and 1 stillbirth. And a baby shows up with this dead body on this boat that got shipwrecked on the coast. And the man's like, hey, we should tell people about this. And the woman's like, nah, it's ours now. And then the book itself is actually about when the baby's 2 years old, so they move back to the mainland, and it's the situation that occurs there, you know? Because people probably knew about the missing man, missing baby. I don't really know what happens, but I'm excited about the drama. In the same way, I'm excited about the drama of this one, which is called The Girl from Everywhere, and it's this girl, and during her birth, her mother died, unfortunately, but it's her dad trying to go back in time to stop her from getting pregnant in the first place, so that she doesn't die. But that means the daughter that he's with on the boat right now, because the picture, you know, it's a time traveling boat, you know, because obviously, of course, why would it not be time traveling? Boats can just time travel. Did you not know that? Silly you. Anyways, yeah, so that's intense and dramatic and kind of awful. But, you know, I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna have some fun reading it. My first nonfiction is going to be a book you've definitely heard of. You Are a Badass. And I'm just reading it because, you know, it's the beginning of the school year. It's the beginning of /endish of college apps, depending on how you look at it. I've been taking tests since last year, but I'm also actually starting the apps like a month ago. So it's like a mixture of beginnings and endings. I guess that would be the middle. This is the middle. That's the word I was looking for. But yeah, so this is just to help me power through to the end, get my apps in, cry when I don't get accepted, but still be happy with myself as an individual. Yay! Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it, you know. It's a book that I've been wanting to read for a long time, and I'm finally going to get to, and that's exciting. I'm excited about that. And on the same idea as a book that I've wanted to read for a long time and have been staring at on my bookshelf but haven't actually picked up is Crazy Rich Asians, which has been on my bookshelf forever, but I never read it for whatever reason, you know those books where you never read them and you were like, huh, and then you just never read them. Well, luckily, you know this, of course, the movie came out for Crazy Rich Asians, which is great, and we love representation, and it's wonderful. I love it, but it's actually going to force me to read the book, which is great, because I hate going to see movies that are books without reading the books, except for when I just don't care, when I'm like, oh, this isn't something that I'm interested in, so I don't need to read the book because I don't care. But obviously with this, I've been wanting to read it and I just haven't forced myself to pick it up, and this is the greatest way I can force myself to pick it up. So yeah, we're gonna do it. And now, on par with the representation aspect, I have The Woman Who Smashed Coats, because it's about this woman who you've never heard about, probably. Maybe. I don't know how educated you are about World War II in general, but, you know. Her name is Elizabeth Smith, and she helped decipher the codes during World War II in America, so not the Alan Turing stuff, but the America side. I don't know if you know who Alan Turing is. I'm kind of a computer science nerd person, so I know these things. But yeah, so basically everything she did was attributed to this man who she like lived in the house of while she was doing the research. And so she got no credit, but this book is about her and her experience. It's nonfiction. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You know, we just love representation. And then this is I'm Not Your Perfect Maxim Daughter, which was suggested for me by my English teacher from last year. Last year I did like a non-fiction English class, a literature class, and this is a fiction book, so yeah. Oh wait, no, this year I'm in a literature class, because literature is fiction. It was in a language arts and composition class. But yeah, so this is literature, this is fiction. But this was suggested by my nonfiction teacher, and she was like, this is really good. Obviously we didn't read it in class because it's not in our subset of what we can read, but I highly suggest you read it, and so I am. I'm gonna read it, and I'm hecka excited about it. Yay. But it's about a girl who wants to be a writer, and obviously the writer of the book is a Mexican-American girl who wanted and then became a writer. So I'm kind of hoping that it's a little self-biography, like autobiographical in terms of her like projecting onto the character and like that, because that always just makes it so much more real when you're reading it, you know, you can really tell. And so yeah, I'm really excited about it. I love reading books about other cultures and other experiences, and I think that's gonna be such a fun read, as well as just like a coming to age story, you know. I love a coming to age story, just like Wonder, which you've definitely heard about. I mean, if you haven't, you need to Google it, look it up. Davy Diggs was in the movie. Like, I don't know, you know. There was that cast was actually amazing, because this book is actually amazing, and it talks about stuff that's so important. And again, so it came out in 2012, which means I was 11, which means I was in middle school, and this book's kind of for like 5th grade, middle school level, I would argue. Yeah, so like, I don't know, it says it's for like 5th grade level, 4th, 5th grade level, because that's like the age of the kid, and obviously like, you don't really read about kids that are younger than you, you know, you kind of more read about kids that are older than you, so it's definitely for like a younger elementary school audience, and so I kind of missed it. And then even if it was really meant for a middle school audience, I wasn't really reading middle school level books in middle school. I was reading other types of books. I've always kind of been reading like a couple grades above me, partly because my sister is older, and I've read the same books as her, and partly just because I love to read. And so in order to challenge myself in terms of the actual level of English that I'm reading, I need to read books that are about larger ideas and like bigger things. But yeah, so I've wanted to read this. It looks like it'll be like a pretty fast read, but I also heard that it's like emotionally exhausting, and I have a low emotional level, so it'll be exhausting for me. I'm excited. And then nonfiction, Gideon's Trumpet by Anthony Lewis. This was suggested by my government teacher. For summer reading, I read 2 other books that he suggested instead of this one, but I'm really excited about reading this one because apparently it's amazing, and I love an amazing book. I love the book that's gonna help me on an AP exam. you know. And then this is a book suggested by my sister. I really do not know how to say her last name. I practiced it. Eleanor Oliphant? I do not know. But she is completely fine. You know? So that's wonderful. It's about this girl, and she starts to like have a crush on a boy, I think it's kind of, but it's like she's awkward. I don't know, I'm excited. I love a good nonfiction romantic little story. But it is Reese's book club, which is Reese Witherspoon, who I love, and I think she has an amazing taste, and apparently she's going to produce it to be a major motion picture. So that's like an extra bonus. I'll have read it, so it won't be like me with Crazy Rich Asians playing catch up, because I'm a mess. But yeah, so I'm excited to read it. I think it'll be cute. It doesn't look like it's going to be a hard read, and I love an easy, just like cute book that I can read when I'm just like really drained, because I just feel like books can bring you back to life, you know, but not like a really intense book. Like I really want to read Neil deGrasse Tyson's Astrophysics for People in a Hurry, but I feel like I need to be like I need a week. I need a week to read that book, because I get that it's for people in a hurry, but it's still astrophysics, you know? I think it's astrophysics, isn't it? I know Stephen Hawking's is a brief history in time, but I think Neil deGrasse Tyson's is astrophysics. I think it's astro something, because I'm super interested in astro stuff. But yeah, so, you know, maybe that'll be like on my Christmas, because I'll have a week, 2 weeks off to read it. That'd be fun. But my last book, which is a more intense book, actually, unfortunately, but also really exciting because it's history. I love reading history books. I think they're so good. One of my favorite history authors, he's not in here, but Eric Larson writes really good stuff. He wrote one of my favorite books, which is called The Devil in the White City, which is about it's about the World Trade Center in Chicago when they built that, but then it's also about a serial killer killed during the World Trade Center, and that's a great book. That's just a book suggestion. Let me just throw that in there for you, you know, in case the 10 books weren't enough. But yeah, so this is The American Political Tradition, by Richard Hofstadter. I'm super excited about it. It's about like the separation of powers, I believe, and like why they made the certain separation of powers in terms of the branches of the U.S. government. Of course, if you're from the U.S., you understand that better than somebody who's not from the U.S. Hopefully. But yeah, I think that's what it's about. Andrew Jackson and the Rise of Liberal Capitalism. Ooh. But yeah, so I'm really excited about that. That should also help me on the AP exam, but also just be a fun read. And that's really what I'm about. I'm about a fun read, but also one that is helping me grow in myself as an individual, which I think fiction and nonfiction books alike can do for you. So yeah, that was my 10 book suggestions, you know, trying to read them all in 1 month. It's gonna be a fun time. But if you have any book suggestions for my October reading or my November reading, or you want to say something about one of these books that I've suggested, either you're like, wow, that book sucked, or you're like, oh my gosh, that book changed my life, I really am a badass. Either way, that's great. I suggest it. I would love to hear it. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe for a new video on Monday or Thursday, because I have no consistency. Peace.